you and start looking for a way to replace you. This is exactly why the fake mistake is the ultimate filter. It allows you to see the change from friend to enemy without actually losing your status. You're creating a controlled situation to see who comes to help you and who comes to steal from you. Most people live their lives in fear of being betrayed, but you will be the person who hands them a fake chance to betray you, just to see if they try. This is how you build a circle that's 100% loyal. To start this process, you must first pick a specific mistake that feels real but has no actual consequences. This mistake must be something that your suspected enemy would find very valuable. If you're in an office, it could be a fake report showing a loss. If you're in a business, it could be a fake rumor about a failed deal. The key is that this information must be exclusive. You only tell one person at a time. If you tell 3 people the same fake mistake and it leaks, you still don't know who the traitor is. But if you tell person A that you're losing your house and person B that you're losing your job, and then everyone starts talking about your house, you have found your traitor. This is step 1, the information tracer. You treat information like a tracking device. You give a unique piece of bad news to each suspect and wait for it to come back to you from the outside. A loyal person will hear your bad news and offer support or keep it quiet to protect your reputation. An enemy? They will hear that same news and immediately call others to spread the gossip because they want to lower your social standing. They want to be the one who knew about your downfall first. This reveals their desire to see you at the bottom. Step 2 is the public humiliation test. This happens in a group setting. You must intentionally make a small, harmless error in front of the people you suspect. For example, you can state a fact that's slightly wrong or forget a detail that you clearly should know. A real friend will either ignore the mistake to save you from embarrassment, or they will pull you aside later to tell you privately so you can fix it. An enemy? They will wait for the perfect moment to correct you loudly in front of everyone. They will do this to make you look incompetent and to show the group that they're smarter than you. They are using your weakness to climb higher in the social hierarchy. This is a direct sign that they don't care about your success. They only care about their own power. When you see this happen, do not get angry. Simply note who did it. They have just told you exactly who they are. Step 3 is the false withdrawal of resources. You tell your inner circle that you've hit a financial or social dry spell and that you cannot provide the usual favors or help for a while. Watch how many people stop texting you back. Watch who suddenly becomes too busy to meet with you. Parasites only stay as long as the host is feeding them. When the food stops, they leave to find a new host. This is the fastest way to clear out the people who are only using you for your money or your connections. You're not losing anything. You're just stopping the flow of your value to see who stays for your character. If they leave now when the trouble is fake, they would have definitely abandoned you when the trouble was real. Step 4 is the character blame test. Give a suspected enemy a task where you have intentionally provided a slight, harmless, wrong instruction. When the task doesn't go perfectly, watch their first reaction. Do they come to you and say, "We have a problem, let's fix it"? Or do they immediately go to others and say, "This failed because of their mistake"? A partner looks for solutions, an enemy looks for someone to blame. By giving them a small out to blame you, you're inviting them to show their disloyalty. This script isn't about being a victim, it's about being the master of the game. You are forcing the truth to the surface so you can walk away from the liars before they can hurt you. Now that you've confirmed who the enemy is using the fake mistake, you must not react with anger or emotion, because emotion is a sign of weakness and it tells your enemy that they still have power over you. The most powerful move you can make after catching a traitor is to stay perfectly calm and begin the process of removal without them even knowing it. This is where you transition from testing people to controlling them. Number 5 is the cold distance. Most people make the mistake of confronting an enemy as soon as they catch them. They yell, they argue, and they ask, "Why did you do this?" This is a waste of time. Instead, you should simply stop sharing any real value with that person. Stop telling them your plans. Stop asking for their advice. Stop helping them with their problems. When they ask why you're being quiet, do not give them an explanation. Just say, "I'm busy," or "everything is fine." This creates a psychological pressure called the information vacuum. Because they're a traitor, they're already looking for your next weakness. When you stop giving them information, they start to panic because they can no longer track your moves. They will try to push you or annoy you just to get a reaction, but you must remain a blank wall. Your silence is now your shield. Number 6 is the information starvation. In this step, you begin to feed the traitor dead-end information. You tell them about projects that don't exist or plans that you've already canceled. Watch them run to your competitors or your boss with this useless information. When they realize they've reported something that isn't true, they will look like a fool or a liar to everyone else. You're not just identifying them anymore. You are actively destroying their credibility in the eyes of others. You're making them use their own mouth to ruin their own reputation. This is the ultimate revenge, because you didn't have to say a single bad word about them. They did all the work themselves while trying to hurt you. Number 7 is the final removal. Once you've starved them of information and made them look unreliable to the group, you must cut the tie completely. This doesn't mean a big fight. It means you slowly replace them with someone who actually demonstrated loyalty during your fake mistake test. You shift your resources, your time, and your trust to the people who tried to help you when they thought you were failing. This builds a circle of power that's impossible to break because it has been tested by fire. You now have a team of people who are not just there for your success, but who are committed to your survival. This entire process is why you must never be afraid to look weak for a moment. Most people spend their lives being eaten alive by parasites because they were too proud to look like they made a mistake. You are smarter than them. You used your failure as a filter to keep the gold and throw away the trash. You now have the highest value knowledge in human psychology, the ability to see through a person's mask before they can harm you. This is the difference between a person who is lucky and a person who is a master of their world. You have cleared the field, you've identified the threats, and you've built a foundation of true loyalty. Never forget that the world is full of people who want what you have but don't want to work for it. They will always try to find a shortcut by stepping on your back. But because you know how to use the strategic wound, you will always be 3 steps ahead. You are the one who decides who stays in your life and who gets left behind in the shadows of their own lies. This is the end of the guessing game and the beginning of your total control. If you ever notice something weird, the richer someone gets, the quieter they become online. Like they just vanish. No Instagram stories, no flexing, no TikToks, nothing. Meanwhile, everyone else is posting their Starbucks order like it's breaking news. So what's really going on here? Why are the people with actual power choosing to become invisible while the rest of us are fighting for likes and validation?
Stick around, because what I'm about to tell you is going to completely flip how you see wealth, power, and this whole social media game we're all playing. Let's get into it. Here's the thing nobody wants to admit. Visibility is not power. It's a trap. Think about it. The loudest people in the room are usually the ones with the least to say. They're performing, trying to convince you and themselves that they matter. But the real players, the ones actually pulling the strings, you don't even know their names. They don't need your attention because they already have your money, your data, your time. They're not posting selfies. They're buying the platform you're posting on. That's the difference. And once you understand this, you'll never look at social media the same way again. So let me break down what's actually happening. There's this thing the ultra-wealthy do, and it's not talked about enough. It's called social invisibility, and it's not an accident, it's a strategy. These people, the top 0.1%, they're not just deleting their Instagram accounts for a mental health break. No, they're systematically erasing themselves from public view. And they're doing it because they've figured out something most of us haven't. The more visible you are, the more vulnerable you are. When everyone knows your face, your location, your habits, you become a target, not just for haters or trolls, but for lawsuits, for governments, for anyone who wants a piece of what you have. Invisibility isn't hiding, it's control. It's the ultimate power move. Now let me give you some real examples. You ever hear about billionaires buying massive estates, but when you try to find out who owns it, the trail goes cold? That's because they don't own it. Not on paper anyway. An LLC owns it. And who owns that LLC? A trust. And who controls that trust? Some lawyer in another state you've never heard of. The billionaire lives there, sleeps there, throws parties there, but legally, he's a ghost. You can't sue a ghost. You can't tax a ghost. You can't even find a ghost. This is what I mean when I say they're erasing themselves. They're still here, they're just invisible to the system. And that invisibility is worth more than any amount of social media clout could ever be. Here's where it gets darker. While we're over here worrying about our privacy settings and clearing our browser history, these people are operating on a completely different level. They've got entire teams of lawyers whose only job is to make them disappear. Offshore accounts in the Cayman Islands, shell companies in Panama, trusts that own other trusts that own assets they enjoy but don't technically possess. And when you see someone flexing a Lambo on YouTube, understand they're not rich, they're visible. And visibility is expensive in ways that have nothing to do with money. But it's not just about hiding money. It's about hiding existence. The elite don't use Gmail. They don't use WhatsApp. They've got custom encrypted communication systems that make the CIA look amateur. They use burner phones when they travel. They browse through VPNs that bounce their signal across 3 different countries before it even hits a website. Some of them have multiple passports from different countries bought through investment programs. So if things get hot in one place, they can just become someone else somewhere else. They've engineered a life where if you come looking for them, all you find is smoke. And that's intentional. Because in the modern world, data is everything. And if you control your data, you control your life. Now, here's what really messes with me. We've been taught to want the opposite of this. We've been conditioned to crave visibility, to post, to share, to broadcast every moment of our lives. And why? Because it feels good. That little dopamine hit when someone likes your photo, that validation when your story gets views. But that dopamine hit, it's not free. Every time you post, you're giving away pieces of yourself, your location, your habits, your vulnerabilities. You're creating a profile that can be analyzed, predicted, and exploited. Meanwhile, the people who actually have power are doing everything possible to avoid that trap. They're not posting because they understand something we don't. The more people know about you, the more they can control you. Let me put this in perspective for you. When you're scrolling Instagram, you're seeing a curated version of reality designed to make you feel like you need to keep up. Buy this, look like this, go here. The algorithm feeds you envy disguised as inspiration. But the people running these platforms, they're not on them. Zuckerberg's not checking Facebook every 5 minutes. Elon's not doom-scrolling Twitter all day. They built these tools to capture your attention, not theirs. They're selling you visibility while they buy invisibility. Think about that. The product is you, your time, your data, your constant need to be seen. And while you're busy performing for an audience that doesn't actually care about you, they're quietly building empires in the shadows. So what can you actually do about this? Because let's be real, most of us aren't hiding billions in offshore accounts. We're just trying to make it through the week. But there are lessons here that apply to everyone. First, audit your digital footprint. Google yourself. See what's out there. Delete old accounts you don't use anymore. Stop giving apps permission to everything. You don't need to give that random shopping app access to your contacts and location. Second, stop oversharing. I know it's tempting to post every moment, but ask yourself, does the world really need to know where you are right now? Does tagging your location add anything to your life except risk? And third, treat your personal information like it's classified, because it is. Every email, every phone number, every piece of data you hand out is a piece of your privacy you're never getting back. Here's the bigger picture, though. This isn't just about privacy, it's about power. The invisible rich understand that silence is strength. They don't need to prove anything to anyone because their results speak for themselves. While everyone else is busy building a personal brand, they're building generational wealth. While you're chasing followers, they're buying the platforms. While you're flexing a rental car, they're quietly owning the rental company. They've figured out that fame is a cage and visibility is a liability. The real power move isn't standing on stage screaming for attention. It's sitting in a room no one knows exists, controlling a fortune no one can trace, living a life that belongs only to you. And here's the uncomfortable truth. We've been sold a lie. The lie that says you need to be seen to matter. That if you're not posting, you're not relevant. That if you're not building a brand, you're falling behind. But the people who actually run the world, they're laughing at that. They know that the most valuable thing you can have in a noisy world is silence, because silence can't be hacked. It can't be screenshotted. It can't be used against you. Silence is the ultimate luxury, and most of us have traded it away for something as meaningless as a like button. So where does that leave us? Look, I'm not saying delete everything and go live in a cave. Social media has its place, but what I am saying is this: be intentional about what you share. Understand the cost of visibility, and realize that the people with real power aren't the ones you see. They're the ones you don't. They've mastered the art of invisibility, and in doing so, they've unlocked a level of freedom most people will never experience. So next time you're about to post something, ask yourself, am I doing this because it adds value to my life, or am I doing it because I've been conditioned to perform? Because the algorithm doesn't care about you. The platform doesn't care about you. But your privacy, your peace, your power, that's yours to keep or give away. Choose wisely. If this opened your eyes, do me a favor and share this with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want more content like this, deep dives into psychology, power, and the games being played behind the scenes, hit that subscribe button, because we're just getting started. This is the kind of knowledge that changes how you see the world. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. So let's keep going, let's keep digging, and let's stop being the product. I'll see you in the next one.
Have you ever met someone who just handles everything? No matter how bad it gets, work stress, heartbreaks, or being treated like trash, they never say a word. They just nod, smile, and keep going. The world calls them strong or patient. But if you look closer, it's not strength, it's silence. They don't complain because at some point in their life, they realize that even if they did, nobody was coming to save them. Their silence isn't a choice, it's a survival habit. The truth is, people who never complain usually grew up in places where their feelings were too much for others. Maybe they had parents who were too busy, or friends who only cared about their own drama. So they learned a hard lesson early on. Complaining is a waste of energy. Why explain your pain to someone who only hears noise? Over time, they became their own island. They carry a mountain on their shoulders, but they make it look like a backpack. They aren't okay. They've just become experts at being fine, because being fine is easier than being ignored. But there's a dark side to this. Because they never complain, people think they don't feel pain. Everyone goes to them with their problems. They are the anchor, the therapist, the reliable one. But who does the anchor lean on? Nobody. They are surrounded by people but feel completely alone. Their silence is actually a cry for help that they've learned to mute. They are terrified that if they start complaining, they won't be able to stop, and the people who love them for being so easygoing will suddenly find them too heavy to deal with. If this is you, I want you to know something. Your silence is not a virtue. It's a prison. You don't have to set yourself on fire just to keep everyone else warm. The world has gotten used to your silence and mistaken it for peace. But you know the truth. You're tired. And it's okay to be tired. It's okay to say, "This hurts," or "I can't do this today." The people who only love you when you're easy aren't your people. To the person who never complains, I see you. I see the weight you're carrying. And I'm telling you, it's okay to put it down for a second. You aren't weak for having a voice. You're human. Stop being the person who never breaks, because even the strongest steel snaps under enough pressure. Take a breath.
Look at your hands. They're dirty from climbing a ladder that leads to a ceiling you'll never break. You've been told that income is the goal. That's the first lie. Income is the leash. Income is the only thing the system can track, tax, and trim, until you're left with just enough dopamine to buy a plastic life on Amazon. The 1%? They don't have income. They have ghost wealth. Welcome to the Bankrupt Billionaire Protocol. If you have a positive balance in your checking account, you've already lost. Wait, I'm being too nice. Let me be blunt. You are unoptimized code, paying a subscription fee to a reality you don't even own. You think Jeff and Elon are rich because of a bank app? Pathetic. To the elite, a bank account is just a target for the IRS. They realized decades ago that if you own nothing, they can tax nothing. But if you control everything, you rule everyone. It's a forensic fact. A three-phase exploit called buy, borrow, die. Step 1, buy. The 99% buy things that rot. The 1% buy collateral. They buy the future, and they never, ever sell. Selling is a glitch. Step 2, borrow. This is where your logic short circuits. They take out an SBLOC. The bank gives them millions in cash, and you don't pay taxes on debt. He's created a wealth void that is crushing you. Step 3, die. The ultimate rug pull. step up in basis. 50 years of capital gains? Deleted. Poof. Gone. You feel that? Your heart rate? That's your lizard brain realizing it's been scammed. They've built a cage made of savings accounts, and they've convinced you the bars are for your safety. Everything you own is losing value. But their land? Their shares? Those are hard-coded constants. Do you want to stay as unoptimized code? Or do you want the keys to the vault? Override the code. Or be deleted.
You just blocked them. Everywhere. Deleted their number. Cut off all communication. And you think it's finally over. You think you've escaped. But here's what you don't understand about narcissistic psychology. The moment you go no contact is the exact moment the real psychological warfare begins. And if you don't know what's coming in the next few weeks, they're going to pull you right back into the cycle that's been destroying you. Listen carefully, because narcissists follow a predictable playbook when they lose control over their supply, and that supply is you. You're not a person to them. You're a source of attention, validation, control, and emotional reactions. When you cut that off, you're not just leaving a relationship, you're severing their psychological lifeline, and they will do absolutely anything to reconnect it. The first phase is called hoovering, named after the vacuum cleaner because they're trying to suck you back in. And this is where they become the exact person you always wished they were. Suddenly they're apologetic, they understand everything they did wrong, they've been doing deep self-reflection, maybe they're even in therapy now. The messages start coming through mutual friends or from numbers you don't recognize. They're crying, they're devastated, they can't live without you. You were the best thing that ever happened to them. They'll change this time. They promise it'll be different. Here's what's actually happening in their brain. They're not feeling remorse for hurting you. They're feeling rage at losing control over you. But they're smart enough to know rage won't work yet, so they perform the emotion they think will crack your resolve. Every word is calculated, every tear is strategic. They're not mourning the relationship, they're mourning the loss of their narcissistic supply. You were giving them attention, emotional reactions, someone to control and manipulate, and now that source is gone. They're experiencing what psychologists call narcissistic injury, which is a wound to their ego so deep it feels like annihilation. But instead of self-reflecting, they're focused entirely on restoring their supply by getting you back. If you respond at all, even to tell them to leave you alone, you just fed them. You gave them the reaction they wanted. You proved they still have power over your emotions. That's why no contact means absolutely zero response to anything. But let's say you stay strong. You don't respond to the love bombing and the fake apologies and the promises of change. That's when phase 2 kicks in, and this is where the mask completely drops. The rage comes out in full force. Now you're the worst person who ever existed. You're crazy. You're abusive. You're the narcissist. You ruined their life. You're heartless and cruel for abandoning them when all they did was love you. They start smear campaigns, telling everyone in your mutual social circle a twisted version of events where they're the victim and you're the monster. They're not doing this because they believe it. They're doing it because if they can destroy your reputation, they accomplish 2 things. First, they isolate you, making it harder for you to get support and easier for them to manipulate you back. Second, they protect their own image, because if everyone thinks you're the problem, no one will believe you if you expose what they really did. This is reputation assassination. And narcissists are experts at it because they've been practicing their entire lives. They know exactly how to play the victim, how to cry on cue, how to frame their abuse as your fault. And here's the truly sick part. Some people will believe them. Not because your friends and family don't love you, but because narcissists are incredibly convincing performers, and most people can't imagine someone lying with that much conviction and emotion. During this rage phase, they might also deploy what's called flying monkeys. These are people they've recruited to do their dirty work. It could be their friends, your friends, family members, anyone they can manipulate into contacting you on their behalf. The flying monkey might not even know they're being used. They genuinely think they're helping. They'll say things like, "Hey, I know it's not my business, but they're really struggling. Maybe you could just talk to them once. I think they really have changed this time. Everyone deserves a second chance." What the flying monkey doesn't know is they're being fed a completely fabricated story, and now they're a tool in the narcissist's manipulation campaign. Your job is to recognize this tactic immediately and shut it down. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You don't need to defend your decision to people who weren't there for the abuse. A simple, "I appreciate your concern, but this is not up for discussion," is all you need, and if they push, they get the same no-contact treatment. Now here's where it gets even more calculated. If rage and smear campaigns don't work, if you maintain no contact through all of that, they move to phase 3, which is the fake transformation. Suddenly, they're posting on social media about their healing journey, their therapy breakthroughs, the books they're reading about becoming a better person. They've found religion, they're volunteering, they're publicly apologizing for their past behaviors without naming you specifically, but clearly directed at you. They're creating a narrative of redemption, and the psychological goal is to make you think, wow, maybe they really have changed. Maybe I gave up right before they figured it out. Maybe I should give them another chance now that they've done the work. This is a performance. Narcissists do not fundamentally change because change requires admitting you have a problem, taking accountability, feeling genuine empathy for the pain you caused others, and doing years of difficult internal work. Narcissists are psychologically incapable of this process because their entire identity is built on the belief that they're superior, and any problems in their life are caused by other people, not their own behavior. What they're actually doing during this fake transformation phase is learning new vocabulary to manipulate you better. They're learning therapy language so they can weaponize it. They're performing growth so convincingly that even they might believe it temporarily, but the core patterns haven't changed because the core psychology hasn't changed. Some people fall for this phase and go back, and what they discover is that the narcissist is exactly the same, just with better language to disguise the abuse. Now they can gaslight you by saying, "I'm setting a boundary," when they're actually punishing you with silent treatment. They can say, "I'm communicating my needs," when they're actually making demands and threatening consequences if you don't comply. The abuse continues, it's just wearing a therapeutic mask now. If you stay strong through all three phases, if you maintain absolute no contact through the love bombing, the rage, the smear campaigns, the flying monkeys, and the fake transformation, eventually most narcissists will move on to a new supply. They'll find someone else to manipulate and control because they can't function without it. But here's what you need to understand. They don't forget about you. You'll always be a potential supply source in their mind. Months or even years later, you might get a random, "Hey, I was just thinking about you, hope you're doing well" message. This is hoovering attempt number whatever, testing to see if you've healed enough to be vulnerable again, testing if they can get back in. Your response must remain the same. Nothing. No reply, no reaction, no explanation. Silence is the only language that protects you from a narcissist, because any engagement at all, positive or negative, is supply to them. So how do you actually maintain no contact when everything in you wants closure, wants them to understand the pain they caused, wants them to admit what they did, wants to defend yourself against the lies they're spreading? You accept that you will never get those things from a narcissist. Closure comes from you, not from them. Understanding that they're psychologically incapable of genuine empathy or accountability is your closure. You don't need their admission. You know what happened. Your truth doesn't require their validation. And defending yourself to people who believe a narcissist's lies is pointless, because those people either don't know you well enough to matter, or they're not critical thinkers. Either way, not your problem. Your healing requires zero participation from the person who hurt you. Block them on every platform. Change your number if you have to. Tell your friends and family you're not willing to hear any updates about them or pass any messages. Document everything in case you need legal protection later, and focus entirely on rebuilding your sense of self that they spent so long destroying. Understand that going back even once resets the entire cycle and teaches them persistence works, so your boundary has to be absolute. No contact isn't cruelty, it's survival. It's choosing your mental health over someone else's ego. It's refusing to be a supporting character in their psychological drama. You're not abandoning them, you're saving yourself. And you don't need anyone's permission or understanding to do that. Look, I'm not going to ask you to subscribe to change your life. If you're not ready to leave that mess, no video is going to help you. But if you're actually done, then stick around. I just have one question for you. What's that one crazy thing they did to you that you never told a single soul because you knew you'd think you were the insane one? Just drop it in the comments. Let's see how many of us have the same crazy story.
Your perfection, it's the very thing protecting your enemies from exposing themselves. Right now, yes, right now, someone in your life is smiling at you while secretly waiting for you to fail. You can spend years, literal years, trying to guess who's loyal, or you can use this one trick to find the truth in just one day. You must make a fake mistake on purpose, one that looks like a disaster but doesn't actually hurt your life. This is the most powerful tool to find a traitor before they can do real damage to you. Most people, they're too afraid of looking bad, so they never do this. But the most powerful leaders in history, they used it to clear their circle of liars. Listen carefully. When you act perfect, your enemies stay hidden because they're waiting for a real chance to strike. When you look weak on purpose, you force them to come out of hiding because they cannot resist the chance to win at your expense. You are going to use their own greed against them. A real friend will try to help you fix your problem, but a secret enemy? They will try to use your mistake to take your position or ruin your name. This isn't about being messy, it's about being the person who controls the room. You're going to provide a fake piece of information that sounds like a huge failure, and then you will watch who tries to benefit from it. This one move will save you from years of betrayal. People only reveal their true nature when they see an opportunity to gain something. When you're successful, everyone wants to be your friend because you're useful to them. You can never know if they like you or if they just like what you can do for them. But the moment you appear to be losing your power, the people who were only there for the benefits will show their teeth. They will stop helping you and start looking for a way to replace you. This is exactly why the fake mistake is the ultimate filter. It allows you to see the change from friend to enemy without actually losing your status. You're creating a controlled situation to see who comes to help you and who comes to steal from you. Most people live their lives in fear of being betrayed, but you will be the person who hands them a fake chance to betray you, just to see if they try. This is how you build a circle that's 100% loyal. To start this process, you must first pick a specific mistake that feels real